Hollywood.
89.7 KLES-FM. My name is Richard Harris. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday afternoon wherever you are around this country. I'm sorry if I'm talking rather fast today, rather quickly. I'm just still blown away by this Terry Francona situation because of the fact that you can say what you want about the teams collapsing. You can say what you wanted that, someone's going to take the fall for it. But the reality is that, you don't get away good people. And good people, yes, yeah, the Red Sox didn't give him away, so don't get it twisted there. But it's just disappointing that we've lost a good manager in the sport of baseball because of whatever personal reason he has, or hopefully it's not physical. But it's disappointing. And we will roll on 89.7 KLS FM with some more good. And here we go. College football. We have a new number one. And in my opinion, I am definitely in full agreement with it. And we're going to take our first phone call. 99.7 KLS FM. Hello. Hello.
Richard, it's David from New York.
David from New York calling us live from Yankee Stadium. How are you today, David?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually about 100 blocks south of Yankee Stadium, but I'm going to be making my way up after this call.
Quick question for you. So what is your thoughts on Terry Francona resigning?
Oh, wow. It's a tough one, but when you're in a place like Boston or Philly or New York or the major cities with the big media presence, and you don't perform and you're part of a historic collapse, unfortunately it comes with the territory, I think.
I'm just saddened because the Red Sox-Yankee rivalry only became more relevant when he managed the Red Sox. I mean, when we were growing up, the Yankees just always dominated them, and now, he made it more interesting. Obviously, he didn't play, but obviously, whatever he was doing made the Red Sox give the Yankees fits over the past decade. But, it's just shocking to me.
Yeah, well, I think the ball's rolling now. I think the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry is obviously back, and going to be back for some time, regardless of who gets plugged into that position.
Well, you had an incredible week with your fantasy picks. Wes Welker caught 16 balls for over 216 yards. You had the Redskins defense didn't allow a touchdown. They forced turnovers. They beat Romo up a little bit. And, your running back pick, did pretty. I mean, your other pick did very well as well. So, what do you got for us this week?
Javid Best was that third one, the one who you shouldn't start because Kevin Williams, I said, was coming back, and he got 12 yards rushing, second worst starting running back in the league. He did catch like a 60-yard pass or something, but can't predict that very well. So you want to know who to start and who to sit this week, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, I got a couple good ones for you here. This is a little bit against the grain. Again, what I try to do here is not give you the obvious stuff, but the stuff that maybe the other experts and maybe you as a fantasy player might have missed. I'm going to go against the grain and say Chris Johnson, someone that everyone's very sour on. I think what happens in these circumstances, and it's happened many years now to many running backs that start late, these last 3 weeks are his preseason. So he didn't have a preseason, as we all know, because of the holdout. This was his preseason, and that's why he struggled, in my opinion. That and the line's a little bit weak, but I think he's back. I think this is going to be the beginning of the turning point. They play Cleveland. Everyone's been running on Cleveland. Cincy, Indy, Miami are the three teams that Cleveland's played, and all three of them, have been running on them. And meanwhile, Cleveland hasn't beaten those teams by much at all. So you're not going to get the blowout where Tennessee's going to be forced to throw the ball. They're going to continue to run. They're going to try to establish that run, and they're going to be able to stick with the run because they're not going to get blown out by Cleveland. So especially without Kenny Britt, I think that's a decent pick right there.
All right. It's funny because Jerry Rice this morning was going off about Chris Johnson, where he at. So we'll see if we can find him this week. What about the player we should sit?
Sitting-wise, this one's the way I went out on a limb with Chris Johnson. I'm kind of not going out on a limb, but I'm going to warn a few people that might be excited about Noshawn Marino coming back to the starting lineup. Not injured anymore. If you drafted him, you probably drafted him higher than you wish you had. You might be excited by the fact that he's coming back. Don't be excited, at least not this week. What's happening is that he's going up against the stingiest run defense in the league at Lambeau, Green Bay. Nothing is going to be happening on the ground there. Plus, he's probably going to get less than 50% of the carries anyway. They're going to stick with McGahee. He's going to be a total timeshare. It's a situation to stay away from whether you have Reno or McGahee, but especially if you have Moreno.
And the defense.
Defense. Actually, honestly, I didn't really look too much at the defense, and since I'm on the road right now, I don't have any sheets in front of me. Let me tell you one thing I'll do instead of defense. I want to alert people to someone that you may want to trade for.
Okay.
So the trades and acquisitions is where leagues are won or lost in fantasy. I've got my eye on Steven Jackson. Now, if you're a current Steven Jackson owner, you've been kind of disappointed this year. Obviously, he's been splitting carries. He's been injured. So you got Cadillac, who's been in the game. This week, you're going to have Cadillac splitting carries with him. He'll probably get 60-40 versus a decent Washington team. So his numbers aren't going to be great. He's got a bye next week, and then he's got Dallas and Green Bay. So owners that have him right now are probably thinking, this guy's not going to perform for me this week, and he's not going to perform for me anytime soon. They're in a trading mentality. They're in a sell mentality. The reason why you want to get Steven Jackson right now, I'm convinced he's getting healthier, and if you look past that Week 8 matchup or Week 7 matchup with Green Bay, listen to his teams that St. Louis is playing. New Orleans, Arizona, Cleveland, Seattle, Arizona, San Fran, Seattle, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and San Fran. It's about 9 games in a row leading up to the finals of fantasy where he's going up against defenses that, as of right now, are not threatening against the run, means that they're going to be able to run it up against in St. Louis. Pick up Steven Jackson. Possibly can. He's obviously not going to be on any waiver wires, I don't imagine, but make a trade for him.
Well, actually, I believe he's going to start this week, so I guess the Rams believe that he's ready to go. And granted, his first carry of the year, he went 45 to the house, so maybe he is ready to go.
I know, Richard, I had him. Believe me, I lost that week.
Any more tidbits for the fans out there?
I got one last one here in the category of a start. We've got Denver this week. Eric Decker. Love Eric Decker. Eric Decker is the legitimate number 2 in that offense. A lot of people are a little nervous because John Fox comes from that running system in Carolina, where basically he had 28 running backs running the ball 80% of the time, and everyone pigeonholed him as a running only type of coach. Not true, as we've seen. They're throwing it out there in Denver. There's a little bit of running back situation out there anyway. Don't look at Eric Decker in terms of, last week he caught 49 yards of passes because Lloyd was back. He caught 7 balls for that 49, and he was targeted 12 times, even with Lloyd back in the game. Lloyd makes Eric Decker even better than he was, which was already best unexpected surprise in fantasy football receiving on the year. So basically, again, John Fox had an awful situation in Carolina from a quarterback standard, and now he's got a mediocre quarterback in Denver, and so he's ready to throw the ball.
Well, I remember Decker's days in Minnesota. I remember watching the game where he got hurt, but he still caught like 160 yards reception in that game. So I've always known he had the talent. Just a question of him staying healthy, and hopefully he'll be healthy throughout this game on Sunday.
He's the number 2 man. He'll be there every single play. He's going to get a lot of balls.
Well, enjoy the ball game tonight. What are your picks for the postseason here? Who do you think is going to go to the series?
Oh, it's always hard to pick your own team, but obviously I'm a Yankee fan. Rooting for them, see how far they go. I think that it would be silly for me to say anything other than Philly, the National League, because I've said it since day one of the season. Not exactly a bold prediction, but it's hard to avoid. You can't say anyone but Philly. The AL will be a mystery. A lot more parity going on there, I think. So we'll see how that turns out.
Enjoy the game, David, and thank you for your call.
Thank you, Richard. You're the best.
Take care. 89.7 KLES FM. That's our fantasy portion of the show. David had an amazing week last week. When I saw Wes Welker just catching every pass, I just started laughing. And then watching Javid Best struggle to run the football against the Vikings, I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about. That's why we have him on. And we shall continue to talk more sports. We'll finish off this good section and cut right into the bad section. I was talking briefly about how LSU is now the new number 1 team in college football, and they should be. They have defeated 3 ranked teams impressively, smashing West Virginia, beating Mississippi State, and of course the opening night win against Oregon. This week they play Kentucky, who they should smash, but next week it gets a little tough. They get Florida. I think Oklahoma is still talent-wise might be the best team, but you got to reward, LSU for what they've done. And I think it's funny now that the SEC is trying to get the BCS to allow, more than 2 teams per conference to go play in BCS games because they have the best talent. The Big 12 is not too far behind. Oklahoma has got Texas in a week, so we're going to find out a lot of things as October is the month where things get determined. 2 more quick goods. Tony Stewart has won the first 2 races of the Sprint Cup. This is the funniest sport in the world to me, because how in the world can a guy win races because other guys don't know how to put gas in their tanks or misreading their meters with the gas gauge? It's hysterical, but I guess it happens. Congratulations, Tony Stewart. Just keep on winning. And the final good is a real good, as Brian Stowe, the gentleman who was beaten at Dodger Stadium, continues to recover. I guess the other day he finally was able to go outside and appreciate the sun and, accept it for what the sun really is. And we're happy for him and hope his recovery will continue as he continues to move forward in his life and for his family. And we'll be back on 89.7 KLES-FM to talk about the bad in sports after this.
How'd you like to get up to $12,000?
Who wouldn't?
It's the Army's enlistment bonus program.
What's the catch?
You have to qualify to get the $12,000.
I'll pay off my car.
You get valuable training in any one of several job fields.
My folks will like that.
And you'll learn skills.